G'day, Steel Nation Australia. Welcome to another video, another AFC North Rundown. How exciting. What is going on? The Pittsburgh Steelers defeated the Baltimore Ravens 20-19. Here we are sitting at like week 14. It's December 8th in Australia as I'm recording. So this is coming out today, tomorrow. It's going to be your December 9th. But anyway, we are so close to Christmas. We have 5 games left of the NFL season. And it's starting to feel, if the Pittsburgh Steelers can get a pretty good convincing win going to Minnesota, it's going to get serious because then we can go 7-5-1. But we're going to talk about it today. Talk about the AFC North and how crazy it is. We're only 2 games out. Beating the Ravens was a big help, and the Bengals losing was a good help. So let's jump into it. I hope everyone's doing really well on this fine day, and we're so close. We're so close to Christmas. It's not even funny. There are 5 games to go. It's always a funny time of the season because you know that football is going to end in about a few months, and then what do we do then? I don't know. Back to our normal lives. I got to probably look for a real job, which I will. What do you do then? Football's over. It's like, bring on the draft. Bring on the draft. Okay, let's look at the AFC North Rundown. We've been doing we've been doing for 14 weeks now. I didn't show it yet. Here we go. Bam. Whoops. Bam. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Okay, AFC North Rundown, Week 14. Your Pittsburgh Steelers and my Pittsburgh Steelers are 6-5-1. We have a chance. We're still in the dance. We just got to play good football. And let's start with, not us, but the Chargers versus Bengals. If anyone had a chance to watch this game, I watched a bit of it. I can't remember all of it, but I do remember that the Chargers went up 24-0, and I was like, yes, sucked in Bengals, you losers. 24-0, and I'm thinking, yeah, man, you stupid Bengals, you're terrible, you suck. And then the Bengals came back, and I was like, no, the Chargers are going to blow it again. In the recent years, if you're a Charger fan, or Charger fans, or if you watch Charger football, they do that. They do this to themselves all the time. There was one year, I think in 2017, 2016? I don't know. It was a few years back. I think it might have been the Steelers versus Chargers, but something popped out of me. It could have been versus another team. I can't remember. But anyways, the Chargers were leading by 21 points or 24 points, and they fumbled the football 3 drives in a row for the other team to come back and win. Like the other team came back and won. It was crazy. I'll have to look it up, and I'll maybe put it in the chat when I'm in the live chat tomorrow. But the Chargers, they haven't held on to leads over the last few years, and it's not the identity of their club. So they go up 24-0, and the next minute the Bengals come back 22-24. Joe Mixon had a big fumble, ran away for a touchdown, and then things got out of hand, and it came to be 41-22, which is another score that was 41 to whatever score in the AFC North. So done with them, sucked in Bengals. We need you to lose this week. And also, I'm going with my heart more than ever before as we get down to the nitty-gritty things. As if I knew X's and O's anyway. It's mostly my heart. But let's go next game. This was a crazy game. When I was doing the live stream and I was going up and down, the Pittsburgh Steelers didn't score. We scored 3 points in 3 quarters. We had 150 yards. There was 0 offense. There was nothing going on. We couldn't run the football. We couldn't move the football. Something changed in the 4th quarter. I think LeGlue came in for the guard. Benny Snell got a few runs there. Big Ben was yelling at his receiver coach, and I think he was a bit upset at a few of his receivers just weren't doing their job. And I kind of get that feel too. I kind of get that. I think Ben knows if he has time and if he can get his receivers in the right lane the right kind of read, the right kind of route. He knows he can put them in position to win. Big Ben knows from watching him in the press conference and watching him win this game and come back. So Big Ben had 21, 31, 236 yards, 2 TDs. Ben knows his team and he knows his receivers. He knows if he can spark Deontay Johnson to go out and do his best and get him in the best chance to win. Like, Ben has been in this game for 18 years. He knows how to work matchups. Okay. You watch it. We'll see it this week against the Vikings. He'll just know to use certain players. And DJ ran away with that game. He's on fire at the moment. Deontay Johnson is on fire. I'm expecting actually a pretty big game from him coming into Minnesota. I think you can't. When you're on, you're on. No matter what sport you play, when you're on, you're on. If you're playing hockey and you've got the point streak, you're going to keep going. I think right now DJ's at that point where the defense has to really to contend to maybe double cover and push him off his mark a bit, get in his face, and it's going to help Najee too. Because there were a few times too where the Baltimore defense was backing away, and Najee had more room to run. There was one run he ran like a bullet up the middle. We're getting better. We're getting better and better, and I'm starting to feel a bit more confident. I'll never lose hope, but I do feel a bit more confident. I think we can probably score a few points in this game. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Defensive-wise, TJ Watt, just give that guy Defensive Player of the Year now. I'm sorry, NFL. There are 50 people who choose him. He better win Defensive Player of the Year. He's already got 16.5 sacks. I think he's beaten James Harrison's record. He's got 16 sacks. He's half a sack away. The leading – now, look, there was also – the leading sack, I think, was in the NFL was 22.5 or 23. TJ Watt's going to smash that. He's going to get 20. I reckon get 20 or 23. I think he'll get it. Now, people will say, yes, you have an extra game, but he hasn't. He's missed 2 games. He's only played 9 games. 11 or he's played about 11 games, I think. I can't remember. He's played 2 games shy. He's missed 2 games. He's missed a few half games. The NFL better not rob him again. The NFL, you robbed him 2 years in a row. The first year was the cornerback with a lot of interceptions got it, Gilmore. Last year was Donald. He got it. Yeah. Don't you dare. Do not dare rob this man. This man needs the accolade. He needs that. Not that he cares for it, but to say stuff you to the NFL. TJ Watt, 6 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 6 quarterback hits, and pass deflections. He changed it. Wormley had 5 tackles, 2 sacks, Minka with the pick. The defense is pretty good. We only allowed 19 points. That's pretty good. 7 sacks. The Steelers now lead the league in 37 sacks, which I didn't know that. So we had 7 sacks on Lamar. Mate, the Ravens aren't that good. The Ravens are not that good. I'm sorry, Raven fans, if you're out there. You're not that good. You think the Steelers are not that good. Your quarterback is overhyped. Yes, he can run like Michael Vick. Yes, he can do superstar things. But your quarterback is overhyped. He can't pass the friggin' football. It doesn't go anywhere, okay? He fumbles all the time, and we'll get into the stats too. I've got some more stats. Let's move on. Next. Excuse me. Okay, AFC North standings. The Ravens have won 8-4. The Bengals won 7-5. Steelers climbing the ladder. 6-5-1. 6-5-1. Keep climbing. Now, the point differential is we're down by a few points, but that doesn't matter. Look, we've got the tiebreaker. All the Steelers need to do is just keep winning. And for the Ravens and Bengals to lose one. If the Ravens and Bengals can lose one more game, then all we got to do is just keep winning, and we have a chance to go to the North and have some, if we win the North this year, having the home field advantage will mean a lot because this team is different to last year. Okay, it's a more, we're getting more physical. We are. Trust me, we are. Even though we're missing a few tackles, we're getting a bit more physical. Oh, I forgot the Browns. The Browns are 6-6. Well. Okay. No, I do have a lot of Browns fans who come on the page too, but you've got to respect. You hate us, we hate you. It's what it is. Okay. AFC playoff race. Coming first in the for number 1 seed is the New England Patriots at 9-4. I keep telling everyone they're a hard team. They got Mac Jones at 9-4. They'll probably be even better next year. Matt Judon is really good. J.C. Jackson is amazing. The defense is playing amazing. When they beat the Buffalo Bills yesterday or the day before, they only threw the ball 3 times. Okay, and a lot of fans are saying, why would you only throw it 3 times? There was 70-kilometer winds, 30-mile winds. The game plan was to run the football and defense, and it worked perfectly. They ran the football, I think 250 yards. They played that game to a T. It was excellent football to see. That's old school mentality football. Like it's like back in the 1950s, 1940s, 1960s, where they just ran it. They didn't introduce a pass. The pass didn't really come into it until about the 60s. All teams did was run it. You run the football. The pass didn't really come in until the early days. And I can't remember what year, so don't quote me on that. But the pass didn't happen. It used to be in the 1930s, 1940s football where they just ran it. So in that kind of weather, the Patriots know they can do that now. They know that they can man up, play physical football and run over their opponent. It was great to see. It was a great game to see. It was a great game to watch. The Bills tried to throw it, and they were about 50%. It wasn't working. It wasn't going in their favor. Okay, next. A team that's quite unheard of. The Tennessee Titans had a bye last week. I don't really know what to think about that at the moment. I haven't been following them too much. We're going to leave it there. They had a bye, but they've been losing 2 in a row, so we'll leave it there. Next one. AFC North is the Baltimore Ravens. They suck. They're not as good as everyone thinks. 3 overtime games, almost another overtime game. But Wang Harbaugh, but we like to call him from behind this little curtain on the YouTube platform and the website. We call him Wang Harbs because he's a Wang. He's just a loser. Tried to go for the 2-point, didn't work. You lose 2019. You're not as good. You're not as good as people say you are. Your defense is suspect. Your offensive line let up 7 sacks, and Lamar, you can't do what you did 2 years ago with the running game with Lamar and go 14-2. You can't, or whatever you did. You can't. That's not going to happen. If you go to the playoffs, you're losing first round, 100%. I don't care who. I don't really care who you verse. I think the defense has figured you out. AFC West is 4th. Another team now. KC is starting to fire it up. KC and Patriots are 2 top teams. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. Next. The 5th seed is your Chargers. Hey, they beat us too. They're hanging in there. Their defense played some good defense against the Bengals. They're starting to fire up, and they're also contending for the AFC West too. 7-5. Next, the Bengals still, I don't know what to say. They went so hard against us, but then you lay a duck egg against the Chargers. So where do you really rank the Bengals? This week, they have to win this week. Otherwise, they're on the downtrend. They're going down. And the team that another team that's really overhyped is the Buffalo Bills. The whole change about changing the guard and you should be the new team in the AFC East, and there's no longer Tom Brady and the Patriots. You're just 7-5. We beat you in the week 1. The Jets, was it the Jets or the Jags? Was it the Jags? I think the Jags beat you. The Jaguars beat you 9-3. Was that right? I can't remember. I think it's Jags. Anyways, they beat you. Yeah, you're hanging on. You're just hanging on there, mate. Buffalo Bills fans need to go power bomb their wives into their into tables because you're just hanging in there. We're only 1 game back. The Steelers are 1 game back from you. We hold the better record too. So if we get the same amount of wins, we hold the better record for the 7th seed. Okay, let's go into some stats. We'll just go the highlighted ones. Okay, Burrow has 68% passing, 3,000 yards, 23 touchdowns. However, Burrow has 14 interceptions. He is the league leading interceptions right there. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. So this whole graph here pretty much says your best quarterback's Big Ben because he has 16-6. That's probably the best ratio we have. Jackson and Burrow have the same amount of interceptions, And Baker is just playing game managed football. 2,400, the least yards, the least touchdowns, and the least interceptions. He's playing game manager. But Baker can do that with his running game. He can. Next one. Big Ben leads fumbles. That's fair enough. He's probably the oldest and slowest out of all of them. The defense is getting to him, so he's fumbling the ball quite a bit on the he's got the least amount of sacks, but that's a pretty worrying stat because every time he gets sacked, 1 in 3 times he fumbles it looks like. Jackson here has the most sacks, 37. Well, we did that. The Steelers sacked him 7 times last game, so that's fantastic. Nothing to really see with their average. So, Burrow's got the best average, but it's all similar. If you say Burrow's the best quarterback, you say Big Ben's the best quarterback, you say Jackson, they're all very similar. It's just that the top two, Burrow and Jackson, they're the most sacked, and then Baker's coming up. Baker trying to chase that too. Okay, let me go into the next game. Go drink of water, and then we'll start talking this game. Far out. Okay. Week 14 is the Ravens versus the Browns. From this point, I'm going to just say, okay, maybe my last videos too have all been from my heart. But we need to get this. We need to get in a position to win the North so we have a better chance in the playoffs and shove it down everyone's throat. I have to just go with the Browns. I think that we need, there's 2 points of view. If the Browns win, it brings back the Ravens back to 8-5, and the Browns come up to 7-6. We already have a game over the Browns. That's in our favor, okay? And we have a game versus the Browns January 5th coming up. So we kind of want the Ravens to come back one. However, if the Ravens go and win, and they go 9-4, and Browns go 6-7, the Browns are pretty much done. They surely they're done. From the playoff race. Surely, if they lose this game, they will be 6-7, and I don't see how they can go. They don't have to win. I think 3 more games to go 10-7, right? And that won't in this division. That won't cut it. I don't think. I don't think. So I think if the Browns lose this game, I think they're done. I think the playoff race, it's going to be very hard for them to win because they still have to verse the Bengals again the last week, and they got to verse the Steelers the second last week. So I think that the Browns have to win this game to be. This is a must-win game for the Browns. Okay, must-win game. Next game. Also go with my heart too. We need to see the 49ers beat the Bengals just for the pure case of getting so close, so crazy to the end of the line in the AFC North. That the Bengals have 2 wins over us, so we need the Bengals to lose, go 7-6. If we can beat the Vikings, we go 5-1. I think we have the edge. I think we come second there. 49ers are also in the mix too. They're in the mix for the playoffs too. They're 6-6. I'm not a big fan of Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't really care for his quarterback play. He stands too still in the pocket. I don't really care. The 49ers are a tough bunch, though. They can run the football pretty hard. I don't know. I think this game's a 50-50. Okay, 50-50. The Bengals would be great to see them lose again. Go 7-6. It would be fantastic to see them lose again. So that's all, from now, from 4 weeks, we've got 14. Is it 5? I said 5, right? 5 games to go. All going to be hard. It's all going to be putting pressure on the AFC North so we can climb the ladder if we start to win. Next game. You know the game. Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Minnesota Vikings. I'll do a 10 minutes, a bit of a go on this in a minute once we cut away for a mini break. But pretty much, I think the Steelers have momentum and they're going to win this game 29-13. I think the defense has momentum now. I think that Montravius Adams in the middle helps out. Cameron Hayward, TJ Watt's going to go off again. Okay, let me save that for a minute. Just hold on 1 second. But I think, Steelers have a good chance to go 7-5-1 and really put pressure on the AFC North and put pressure on on the 7th seed, 6th seed, and even 5th seed. Okay, give me 1 second, guys, and take a quick break for a water, and I'll be right back. But yeah, this is a fantastic game. It's going to come up on this Friday for us. So let me cancel this for a minute. How do I get this? Let's leave it there. That looks all right. It looks cool. Okay, the Pittsburgh Steelers are riding momentum right now. A lot of players, teams, fans might say, okay, even Cameron Hayward came out the other day, yet today, and he said, you lose a lot of energy after you verse the Ravens. Okay, so I get that. It's been a crazy game, physical game. You know, like everyone was doing their job, came back to win the game. 2019, they must be sore, tired. You know, it's a very short week. On the flip side, momentum. Momentum is key in this game. DJ is going off. Big Ben has found his number one receiver. That's his guy. Okay. Chase Claypool, I think you need to step it up. Okay. And maybe Washington, you need to say, hey, Ben, mate, are you going to throw to me at all this game? Do you just want me to block out there? What do you want me to do? Will you throw to me, Big Ben? Frymouth is starting to go too. We're working in pieces like Gentry, even Radar in the blocking game. We're working in pieces. Gentry made a huge catch that got us a first down and led to points. So we're starting to get around. The offense is starting to find its identity. We're running Najee. We need to run Najee, bring in, and if Snell can play like he did the other game, get 2 runs for 14 yards. If he can get 5 runs for 20 to 30 yards, fantastic. That's where it's at. That's where we continue to move the football. Najee's jumping over people trying to get first downs. He's playing very well check down football. He's blocking very well. The offensive line is still a mix and match, but the fellas are buying in. They didn't get sacked once. Not once did the Ravens sack Big Ben. That's fantastic, okay? Big Ben didn't throw the football away, okay? Now, what we need to do in the eyes of fans all around the world, I know this, I hear it all the time, is we need to be consistent. If we're not consistent in this certain play where we go out there and we don't turn up and we lose by 31 to 21, and it's an awful game. Big Ben goes out there and throws interceptions, you know. They have to bring it. They have to bring the exact same attitude that they brought versus the Ravens. They have to. It's a short week. You're going into Minnesota. You're under the dome. You're on the AstroTurf or whatever turf they have. There's no real grass, you know. Even DJ talked about that today. He said, DJ said, I don't care what I play on. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. You have to. This is the playoff mentality football, and it's the momentum shift. We got done. We got beat down by the Bengals, 41-10. But let's move on. Let's move on. If we can go into Minnesota and play physical football with them, they haven't got. I think Dalvin Cook's out. I think Adam Thielen's out. Those 2 key guys are out. So we've got to watch out for their Anthony Madison. I think is a good guy too. I think he's a good guy from the Vikings. He's a pretty good running back. Kirk Cousins, we talked about him in the live stream the other day. Kirk Cousins has been playing 10 years, and from memory, he's been playing 10 years, and he's only won 1 playoff game. So people saying fire Big Ben, fire Kirk Cousins, because he's played 10 years in the league, and he has won 1 game out of 4 in the playoffs. Kirk is average. And if we're going to see TJ put the foot down this game and really get after it and say, mate, this is the game. TJ is going to, Kirk's pretty slow right now. If TJ can beat his tackle, get around his man, Devin Bush, step up. Devin Bush, you need to step up. Joe Schobert, the middle linebacking core has been playing pretty weak for my opinion, okay? My Australian opinion, it's been pretty weak. Those 2 fellas in the middle, step up. Witherspoon played a good game last week. Okay. Joe Hayden, we don't know his status yet. Maybe, hopefully, Joe Hayden can come back. If Joe Hayden's back, this whole defense changes. The pressure off the edge, they tried bringing down Arthur Millette a few times in the Ravens game. Didn't really work, right? It didn't work. He's not the same as Mike Hilton. But if they can use Witherspoon, and I think Pierre's been a bit. Tomlin said we need changes. James Pierre might have been demoted or pushed back to the side, but that's okay. You take that. You take that punch to the face and say, oh well, what do? You say, James Pierre-Emerick, oh, yeah, I am playing pretty terrible. Thanks. Yeah, thanks, coach. I'll get better. You don't whinge about it. You don't whine about it. You just go out there and do what you can do in that certain situation that you're in. Okay, I'm starting to sound a bit like Tomlin. But he said there are changes. Terrell Edmonds and Minka still playing some good football. Minka, you need to tackle more. There's a few tackles in the Ravens game that you kind of whiffed on. Tackling has been a big issue for this Steelers team. It's getting better. Even to a certain extent, I think we still got Lamar Jackson 7 times, but sometimes we let him get out of the pocket and there was no real contain. Kirk Cousins can do that too. He's got sneaky legs. He'll get out. He's a bit older, but he's still pretty sneaky. He'll extend the play. He'll find Justin Jefferson. He's going to be a hard guy to man up. Very interesting game. We are not favored in this game. The pundits, the NFL, the tab, the sports betting, those kind of guys, we are not favourite. We're not favourite in this game. And I'm kind of glad. We're $2.40 in Australia. Jump on it. Because I think it's the consistency. It's us being consistent. It's like, okay, do we see the Pittsburgh Steelers who verse the Bengals, or do we see the Pittsburgh Steelers who verse the Ravens? Okay. I hope we see an extension of the Ravens, because I just get this feeling that there's momentum there. There's momentum building. You hold the Ravens at 19 points. Hopefully you can hold the Vikings under 20. If you can hold a team to under 20, you have a chance to win with Big Ben. Big Ben isn't going to go out there, and I could be wrong, but Big Ben isn't going to go out there and throw 5 TDs anymore. He isn't. Although he's got quite a good record on Thursday Night Football. There was a stat I read on Behind the Steel Curtain, the guys I work for, they talked about that we've been winning most of the games on Thursday night for a long time, right? And scoring points. The last Thursday night game I remember is the one we versed the Colts when I was in Canada in 2016. That's where I won the Big Ben jersey. Sorry, it just me out. Big Ben jersey. I think we scored like 45 points in that game. And go back and look at it. Go watch the Thanksgiving Day game, Steelers versus Colts. Great game. Big Ben went off. Now I'm not saying that Big Ben's going to go out and then do that, but I would be very happy to see Big Ben go out there, get 250 yards, 240, 17 or 19 for 25. Just play sound football. Use the middle of the field more like he did. Get Deontay. Man, I'm telling you, Deontay's our MVP. Deontay is our MVP this year. It's between him and TJ. It really is. But yeah, go out there and just put on, if Big Ben can score 14, Najee can score 7, hopefully get a defensive. This game could be 35-16, 35-17, because we need to hold the Vikings under 20 points. If you can hold them under 20 points and you don't let them run the ball, I don't want to see Kirk Cousins go off for 3 TDs. If Kirk Cousins gets 3 TDs, we're in a bit of trouble. It's going to be 21-21. I'm very excited for this game. I'm so keen because I want to see the squad keep developing and Najee get better and see who's behind Najee. Can McFarland come back? We haven't seen him all year. Who is the second running back? We keep saying that. Who is the second running back? Come back, Highsmith, is this your game? Haywood, I just think before I end it, it's the middle linebackers. You have to start to read and react faster than what you are. Read and react faster than what you are. A lot of times in that Ravens game, I saw Devin Bush. Maybe he's in his head, but he's not going in for the tackle. He's stepping back. He's like, waiting for someone. Okay. Surprise us. This is a shout out from a guy with a small YouTube channel in Australia. You probably don't care about Devin Bush, but mate, this is the challenge. Go out there and prove us all wrong. Prove us wrong that you can go out there and have the game of your life. We hope that Devin Bush can go off this game. It changes the whole defense. If he can man the middle of the field and start to get around and cover his the running backs or the tight ends and get after it, it puts more pressure. And if Joe Hayden and on the other side, Sutton or whoever can lock down their receivers, TJ will feast. I'm excited. I think TJ, I think he breaks James Harrison's record this game. I think he gets another 3. I think he gets after it. I think we're going to push him into a certain point where the Minnesota Vikings are pass happy, and I think TJ gets after it. He really does. Yeah, it's good to see. It's good to be a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Never give up. Never surrender. Keep waving that terrible towel as hard as you can. Like I always say, wave it hard, high, and proud. There's a reason we're all, Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Just for the community. If you love football, I love it. You love it. We all love it. It's gonna be a fun game, man. It's gonna be a real fun game. I might not see you guys before I see you. I'll see you when I see you. What I'll be? What's tomorrow? Today's Thursday. So this is the video on Thursday I'm gonna upload, which is now because I'm recording on the Wednesday. But yeah, I'll see you tomorrow because we're gonna live stream with beverages. We're gonna get louder than ever before. I'm sorry, neighbors. We're gonna get louder than ever before. I got a feeling about Frymouth. I got a feeling about Najee in this game to do some good runs. I don't know if you feel it, but I feel it. All right, here we go. Here we go, Steelers. Let's cheer our team on 7-5-1, and we want the Bengals. Oh, actually, no, we're going to win first. We win first, then we can start talking about the other games. But if we win, we're 7-5-1. We're getting there. We are getting there, okay? It's not over until it's over, Red Rover. All right, here we go, Steelers. Here we go.
This is fucking crazy!